Ladies and gentlemen, direct from the Universal Broadcasting Network, located at the historic Sunset Gower Studios in Hollywood, and locations across the country and beyond. This is Showbiz Nation Live with Michael Roberts. Your weekly look behind the curtain featuring the latest news, reviews, interviews, and performances with the artists that shape the magnificent world of the performing arts. I'm your announcer, David Friend. And now, curtain up, put your hands together. Here is the host of Showbiz Nation Live, Michael Roberts.
Welcome to a special episode of Showbiz Nation. We have gotten removed to a costume shop as opposed to our lovely studio in Hollywood. I'm not quite sure what's happening, but I think I see Mary Poppins' bra.
You do. Probably.
I do.
Yeah.
I do. Okay, I'm not going crazy.
You're not going crazy.
And speaking of crazy, I'm with the cast of Next to Normal. Right? That's like that segue. That's Tom Kent and Brian Yorkie's phenomenal Pulitzer Prize winning musical, Tony winner,
Yes.
which starred Alice Ripley and Aaron Tveit on Broadway. And that was at the Gainesville Community Playhouse, directed by the lovely Dan. I'm going to say your last name right. Well, how could I not? Christopher?
Christopher, yes, correct.
Right.
Yes.
I was going to say Christopher Reeve, but he's dead and it wouldn't make any difference. And talk about, well, on the couch casting, how was she? Because you put your wife in the lead.
Let's see. I will say for this particular show,
Blowjob?
you would think so, but no.
No.
This particular show, there was really no competition. She
Wow.
was
That doesn't say much for you.
She's a kiddo.
there was a couple of older females, but the vocal
Older females.
well-seasoned actresses that were here, but the vocal type didn't match this particular show, and
she was your wife.
Definitely able to do it. The reality is, we do a lot of community theater, so there are a lot of times where we're going to face, am I going to cast you? Are you the best thing? You got to suck it up, because maybe you're not.
And
So
back to sucking it up. So, Susan, you played Diana, the lead. For those that don't know, it's a musical that deals with mental illness
It does.
more than anything, and
Definitely
how
does.
families are kept together and broken apart by the unscientific nature of the process
Correct.
of getting better.
correct. Yeah.
How's that?
That's
I didn't even write that down.
That's
It's
amazing.
only because I've seen the show like 15 times. So, what is the journey like, Sue, going as Diana, going through this night after night?
For me, it's pretty cathartic. Whenever I travel through the show with her, to tell you the truth, I kind of had to approach my doctor because I recently was diagnosed with bipolarism in my late 30s. And so for me to tackle this show while still being so new in my own diagnoses and kind of figuring it out myself and being healthy in it, I definitely approached her and said, this is something I want to do. And she's like, it seems like very important to you. And she's like, I think this could be actually really good for you because I'm a studier. Whenever it comes time for me to do a show, I'm going to study as much as I can about it. And she's like, so I don't think it can be harmful to you. And she's like, is there a moment where you're going to reach a higher point at the end? And I said, for sure. For me, light is just the most important moment of the show. Whenever she says, where you learn the lesson that you, I'm not going to remember my lines now.
You don't have to be happy.
Yeah, don't be happy, just to know that we don't
She's
have
fired.
to be happy. Well, no, I never remember them on stage, but I should remember them here. But
A script is merely a guide to get you
Yeah,
from
it really
point A
is.
to point C.
Oh my gosh. But no, when she says we have to learn that we don't have to be happy all the time, but just to be happy that you're alive. And that's such a true statement. And so every night I kind of finish on a much hopeful, more hopeful note of it's okay, take a deep breath and just keep traveling forward. So for me, it's been great. I definitely marked my script and did scene analysis for each one to find out where she was at each scene. Where is she at on the bipolar scale, manic, depressant, is she okay? How medicated she is in the scene. And
Which is a big part of it,
it's
right?
a huge part of it, whether because she hates the medications, and as an artist, so do I. Which is why, I have a great doctor who works with me so that I don't have to be on medication. medication for it. But I also don't suffer from the depression as hard as some others do. And so that was, one of the big things. And then partnering with my partner in the show, Phil, who plays Dan, just kind of talking through each one of those scenes, because it's kind of paralleling my own life in some small way. I mean, she's not me, for sure. I did not suffer the losses and things that she's, suffered. But having that partnership with a man for so long and have to travel through that,
right.
It's not just a personal exploration, it's a definite.
So take us through the rehearsal process. Dan, what is your vision of this show, and how does your vision differ than maybe Broadway's incarnation of it?
I think my vision is, I like this particular show to be almost visceral for the audience, where they're almost a part of it and they feel and see. So what I was saying to her, if your hair gets messed up, a chair falls down, that's part of your life. Right. And the audience is part of that life, and it just happens. If you stand up right now and your chair falls over, that's just what happens.
Right.
And so taking them on this journey, and sometimes the journey is different. It's been different every single night. And that's okay. Being okay with something was said different, a line was dropped, this thing fell down. If you are in the moment, acting in that moment, then you're okay.
Henry!
Look at that.
Talk about in the moment.
In the moment. This is what happens, and that's okay. And for me,
Wait,
my
you mean
vision...
he's late for his scene? Or what?
My vision for this show was to not only bring this show, but to have that happen. Have real, live, visceral theater that people are a part of and experience every night. And you could come tonight, and then you come tomorrow, and it's totally different. And that's what I wanted to bring, and that's what I got, because I have 6 actors who are fucking amazing. So I got lucky in that particular point. I really did.
Sing Sprint Time for Hitler.
Yeah, you can sing.
Yes.
Right,
You can, Phil. You can. And to that point where it's very audience interactive is that Susan actually does share her Valium with the audience.
Yeah.
Midway through. Delicious. Thank you. Throw it out there. Right.
It's that parade scene.
So let's go through. Let's introduce ourselves, going through sense, and we'll make sure you get through your costume change by 7:00 because the costumes are so hard in this show, right? T-shirts.
Yeah, I have to
There's
put
a lot of
pajamas
them.
on. So
Yeah.
A lot of them.
Yeah.
There's a lot of them. They're not hard, but there's a lot. There's
Yeah.
a lot.
So you are
I'm Bradley.
and Henry, yeah.
Yep. Play Henry.
Hey,
Hey.
hey, and the lovely Natalie,
I'm Brittany Kelly.
Brittany Murphy.
I am Phil Young.
Johnny, we see each other strange.
That was awesome.
You did good.
I'm Brian Fox. I play Dr. Fine and Dr. Madden.
Boom.
And I'm Susan Christopher from Diana.
They cut down the cast. It's usually like one part. No, I'm kidding. So he's playing, right. And actually, the original incarnation was really based on a psychiatrist.
Yeah, it was
More
from
than
this
anyone.
point of view.
Yeah. See?
Yeah.
So, rehearsing the show, what was the hardest part for each of you to find the truth of your characters?
I'm very different from Henry.
Yes.
Can you speak into the microphone?
Sure. Yeah, I'm very different from Henry.
Nearly
Right.
opposite.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, you're
Basically,
transsexual in real life, right? Yeah.
Exactly.
You're Henri.
Yeah. Henrietta.
Yes.
And then I
Right.
feel mine.
Right.
So, I don't know. It was a challenge, but fun to try to play somebody that is literally the polar opposite of the person that I am.
You realize the older you get in life, you're going to be playing Elvis Presley wherever you go.
No. He already has a curled lip.
Right?
Yeah.
Isn't that bizarre?
Yeah.
I know. Yeah. Yeah. And he makes a good bong, too, as you'll see in the show. Brittany?
Well, for me, the most difficult part was transitioning from just playing Mary Poppins to then playing a 16-year-old angsty teenager. Yeah, I really just had to change mindsets, so it was difficult for me.
Yeah. I heard you really didn't get along with your Bert during the production of Mary
That
Poppins.
guy's a giant jackass.
Yeah.
But
Wasn't he horrible?
it was the worst.
Yeah. Stuck your umbrella right up his ass. Yes.
Oh, Mary. Mary.
Yes, Barbara would tell you we sat through quite a production of Mary Poppins not too long ago.
Yeah, you guys did it in Ocala, didn't you?
We,
Right
we
before
did not do it. We witnessed
You went and
it.
saw it.
We
man.
witnessed the first act that was 2
Here's an
hours.
idea. Let's do Next to Normal tonight in Cockney.
Oh, okay, that's nice.
There you
go.
Right?
Do I miss the mountains in Cockney? I
Right.
think this
No,
is
you can do it.
Can Dan
Irish,
actually
maybe.
be Michael
Yeah.
Caine though?
Right.
Yeah.
There you go. Mike?
You done? You good, Mary?
Yeah.
All right.
Carry on.
I think the hardest part for Dan is walking this fine line of being super supportive, and being just a complete jackass. So, which I am in life, I know. I saw that look. There's moments there where you just have to keep in mind that he's not a dickhead. He can't get angry. He can't just blow up at Diana. And finding that temperament, because he's been with her for years, and he knows what she's going through, not necessarily internally, but he's lived a lot of that. And so walking that fine line of, okay, I'm not pissed off at her, I'm pissed off at the disorder. It's really kind of hard.
Yeah.
Have you ever been through anything like that with your family? Have you ever seen anything like that where actually the family becomes disconnected from the person that has it?
Mom, I hope you're not listening to this, but yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, Phil's mother. Next time, This Is Your Life.
Yeah, I mean, growing up, obviously, mental illness wasn't such a huge thing growing up. No one wanted to go. It was, taboo to go see a psychiatrist or a psychologist. So no one really did that. But my sister now is actually in the mental health field, and we had a very long discussion about this show. And her one comment to me was, Phil, go back into your childhood and see how you had to handle situations between the polar opposites of my dad and my mom.
Wow.
So
And did that help?
it did, tremendously. And now I want to eat some Fun Dip and be a child all over again.
Or not.
Or not.
Delicious.
Or not.
I'm not gonna lie.
And you play the gynecologist.
Favorite role I've ever played. Yeah, for me, I think
Very hands-on experience.
Yeah.
the most challenging thing was kind of making, because I'm not a doctor at all, and I have very little interest in science and medicine. So it was sort of, for me, it was probably the most challenging to make everything that I was saying feel second nature and feel, like I actually knew what I was talking about. And I guess people have complimented me and said that I've done an okay job with that, so that's good. But I think that...
And even character-wise, yours is disconnected from everything that's going on.
In
Because
fact,
you're the
I
only one
only
that's
really
not part
have
of...
scenes with Phil
And
and with
Di-
Susan.
yeah.
That's
Yeah.
it. And then the other characters I never interact
Right.
with at all. But it was interesting, sort of, the doctor in a lot of ways reveals a lot of information to the audience, especially when he's
Yes.
diagnosing things,
Yeah.
or he says to Dan, ECT is indicated. That's like a...
Spoiler.
Yeah.
Well,
Well,
It's kind of a
Spoiler.
spoiler.
not a spoiler, but
yeah.
that's
Barbara's
a
had
mild
it on.
spoiler compared to other
But just
things.
not, Barbara, yes.
Yeah, trust me.
But it's just interesting to take on that sort of role of almost like an antagonist, kind of, in a way. And the audience has to sort of be like, okay, like, is the doctor trying to help? Like, is the doctor just presenting all these challenges that they have to continually overcome, throughout, especially in the second act. But yeah, it's just hard to memorize all the lines, because I have more lines than I do singing, really. I have a lot more, like, dialogue. So it was hard to sort of just memorize everything and make everything feel as natural, because it's not really what I do in my daily life at all. And just,
What do you do?
What do you think?
Well, on the radio, okay?
He owns
But-
Domino's.
I don't, actually. But yeah, it was just tricky to sort of make everything feel natural and just kind of be comfortable with, putting on, especially talking about medical terms and memorizing, all of the... Well, I won't spoil it, but
That's
there's-
right.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
and let's
it was just tricky to.
and let's
to
talk
make it
about the
feel
music
natural.
because it's a rock score,
Oh, yeah.
and it reaches the top level of tenors, altos.
Very much so.
Right?
Oh, yeah.
How is this score? How was it learning the score? And what nuances have you put your own little touches on?
I'm actually kind of anxious right now because I should probably be warming up already.
Don't be anxious.
That's all right.
She's got give her a pill.
Yeah, seriously.
I got my own of those. Don't worry.
Good. Love it. You're sharing.
I
Well,
think there's a lot of off. It's not 4/4,
No.
Yeah,
that's
there's
right.
a lot of
4/4,
non-four time.
and there is a lot of harmony
Yeah.
that's challenging.
Right.
Like
Really
learning
challenging.
it's going to be good
Yeah.
was
Once we had
pretty
it,
funny.
it actually is quite easy.
Yeah.
Once we got it, but getting there was a challenge for us. And then "Wish I Were Here" is also a
Yeah,
challenge.
the Act 2
It's been
opener
a
is a
challenge.
really challenging.
Always have it.
Yeah,
It's got,
I'm
it's
pretty
got
sure
a
I
part
still
of the
don't know
song
that
that's in
song.
7/8.
And that's one of the
You know,
heavier rock pieces.
And I'm
No
jumping.
matter how high,
What you do, superstar?
Oh, yeah.
no matter how high our notes get, we just all think like, well, at least we're not Gabe.
That's
At least we're
right.
not Gabe.
Yeah.
Very true.
Yeah. His "I'm Alive" that kind of soars up there, doesn't it?
Yeah,
He
it
just
does.
breezes through it too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Super
That's where
talented
he's
with
comfort.
that.
That's his
Yeah.
comfort zone.
His
though.
comfort
He's
zone
way
is
up
up
there.
there.
High tenor.
Yeah.
Yes, very much so.
So before I let you go, warm up and clean the socks. What have each of you learned from the part, and how's this show changed how you conduct your everyday life?
We're looking at you, so go.
Oh, it's my turn?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can relate.
Oh my god, I don't know.
It's okay not to be okay.
Here you go.
Sure.
Absolutely. My sister would be so proud of you.
We love the term "fucked up is perfect." You just can't put that on a shirt. So
Yeah.
So we did
crazy
crazy
is
is
perfect.
perfect.
Is all right.
Crazy's perfect.
Because you know what?
Yeah.
It is perfect.
Yeah.
And there is nothing wrong with it. Is an exceptional opportunity to bring this to the forefront and have people talk. There is
Every
nothing wrong with talking
Every
about
night.
it. And why people shy away from it because, oh, it's mental illness. It's an illness. If you had cancer, I wouldn't avoid it and act different. I would accept, okay, you have this. This is your disease and you live with this.
Right.
We don't do that with mental illness.
Yeah.
Oh, you're sick. Oh, you should just get over it and feel better.
People walk through that
And
line
people-
every night afterwards
and that's
talk
tough.
to us, and they want to just share their story with us. And I had a woman last night actually say, "Can I just hug you?" And I was kind of taken aback. I'm not a big toucher, but I was like, "Yeah, of course you can."
Oh, she touches.
Shut up.
Only when she wants
I
the
guess
part
she's
that
playing
she
Mary
wants.
Magdalene, isn't she?
No, not me. But no, it's really amazing how many people want to share when they come out of this.
That's what the show's about, right?
It is,
Yeah.
and that's like amazing to me. I mean, Dan 6 months ago, I said to him, because there's definitely been a change in my own personality with the onset of the disease, and one of the things is I told him, I said, I'm a lot nicer than I used to be, because
Wow.
I'm way more empathetic towards other people, and that empathy opens my eyes to things. So I said, if nothing else comes of this disease, if people want to talk to me and that's who they see me as, okay, I'll be that person. I don't mind talking. I've never shied away from anything in my life. So if it makes people want to talk and it makes people want to have a discussion, if it has one person seek out a therapist or one parent seek out a therapist for their child, I'm okay.
You've done it.
I've done what I wanted to do. Yeah.
And they can send their check to.
That's right. Sue and Dan. My last question is actually, how is this show moving community theater forward in this area? I'm from Chicago. When I started hearing that announcement at the beginning of the show where there's like harsh language in it, I'm like, what the fuck are they saying? Really, it's theater, ladies
For
and
our
gentlemen.
particular
Give me a
theater,
break.
We are
But they
we
do
are
it in
moving in that
Ocala too.
direction, but the reality is our season subscriptions here in Ocala, they depend on that to make their money. We have to make a certain amount of money to survive. When we have
And for Brittany's salary.
we have 6 shows a season. This part of the season has low attendance, and we are putting more progressive shows in that slot. It gives our actors an opportunity to participate and our audience exposure. And so as we gradually expose them to this theater, we get new audience members, the audience members that we need to filter out, and then we can have a bigger base that will support all theater.
Because
But
good
we have to
Lord,
kinda
you
do it
should have
slowly.
seen it 5 years ago when we did Red.
We did Red for the first
They
time
did Red for the
5
first
years
time.
ago. Well, actually, even before that would be Producers.
Yeah,
But
Producers
we
was
did
pushing
Producers
the line.
7 years ago.
Was
The
it was
what?
summer of 2010. It was about 6
Yeah,
years.
we did,
That was
and
progressive.
that was progressive for
super
us
progressive.
Super progressive.
because we have.
And to be realistic, I don't think the Place Selection Committee listened to the whole show. This show, they're like, "Hey, go for it." Or I don't think they heard that.
Right, I'm sure.
Alright.
That's normal. Oh yeah, Pulitzer Prize. What could be bad about that?
So
It sounds really depressing.
It's okay.
Yeah.
But okay,
Right.
your art.
Right?
Yeah, there you go.
Well, and then I guess we might as well make the announcement tonight that starting next season, the first show, Phil Young is doing "Oh Calcutta."
yeah,
So we're really pushing the envelope.
Naked boy singing.
yes.
Balls up. Oh, I'm going to see that tomorrow. No, it doesn't
Show
matter.
you
We
wanna
want to
do?
do the
No,
full
you
Monty.
want to
I
do
really want to do the full
That's
Monty.
the show he
Yeah,
wants
that's
to do
not a
more
dirty
than
show at all.
They,
That's
No one
that-
knows it.
That's the
Perception.
least dirty show there is.
we agree, but it's
Convincing
perception.
people that it's like trying to do
perception.
Best Little Whorehouse. The title kills it.
In this particular area, it's tough to overcome.
Its title kills it.
You can be head whore.
Yeah.
Yeah. The F word.
All right, and next one normal runs through.
February 21st, Thursday through Saturday 8, Sunday and Saturday and Sunday at 2 also.
If you
Fantastic.
got any of that.
You can call and get tickets to the box office.
Yeah, you can call.
We'll put all that up on.
Box office.
Yeah.
Just go to our website,
Right.
gcplayhouse.org, and you can find out anything you need to
Find
know.
us on Facebook,
Perfect.
Twitter,
So-
Snapchat.
Thank you for
Yeah,
doing this, man.
we love your Snapchat. Thank you, everybody.
Hey, thank you.
Congratulations.
The curtain is now coming down on another episode of Showbiz Nation Live with Michael Roberts. Make sure to visit showbiznationlive.com and ubnradio.com for information on upcoming shows and to listen to past episodes. Thank you for tuning in, and please support your local theaters and arts organizations. I'm your announcer, David Friend. See you at a show.